Eh, Bienvenidos al curso de inglés avanzado C2, ¿sí? Welcome al curso, el curso gratuito de inglés avanzado C2, estimados participantes. Pueden seguirnos en nuestra página de Facebook, nuestra plataforma en YouTube y en nuestro TikTok, donde dejamos algunos recuerdos de participantes que llevaron los cursos gratuitos, ¿sí? Entonces, ustedes, si algún momento quieren visitar el TikTok, ahí están los videos de participantes que nos han recomendado y cómo fue sus enseñanzas, ¿no? En la institución del Tecnológico. Bien, estamos ubicados, ¿sí? En Andahuayla, Suprema, Perú. Y ustedes, estimados, ¿desde dónde llevan el curso? A ver, ¿de dónde nos escriben? ¿De dónde llevan? Será muy importante conocerlos también. Bien, los convenios son con diferentes cooperativas con nuestra institución del Tecnológico. Es importante porque estas cooperativas nos dan la validez del certificado, ¿sí? Recuerden, mientras más convenios exista, mucho mejor la certificación para el participante. Entonces, por eso es importante siempre recomendarnos, dejarnos algunos recuerdos, algunos comentarios en nuestras publicaciones, y así diferentes instituciones, cooperativas, municipalidades van a seguir contribuyendo con nuestra institución, ¿no? Así como ustedes reciben los cursos gratuitos, sus trabajadores también reciben los cursos gratuitos, ¿sí? Llevamos ya muchos años dictando cursos gratuitos. Como podemos ver, más de 7 años de experiencia orientada a ofrecer educación virtual gratuita de alta calidad, ¿sí? De alta calidad a nivel nacional e internacional. Somos un equipo completo desde nuestro gerente general, la dirección académica, la oficina de certificación donde se hacen todos los trámites de certificados, el staff de asistentes académicos, el staff de docentes, que son docentes que están preparados para dictar el curso, ¿sí? Y pues esperemos que sigan disfrutando nuestros cursos gratuitos. Bien, me dice por aquí, profesor, todavía no es buenas noches, ustedes estamos buenas tardes, good afternoon. Aquí tenemos los cursos gratuitos aún disponibles. Ya en la otra semana voy a publicar los cursos del mes de noviembre, pero al final del cierre de sesión también voy a compartirles qué cursos vamos a dictar en el mes de noviembre, ¿sí? Estén muy atentos, tienen el número celular aquí presente de la institución, donde pueden dejarnos un mensajito. Por favor, quiero registrarme en el curso de noviembre. Y en caso que no puedan, profesor, excelente, estimada Soledad, muchas gracias. Saludos, estimada Betty. De igual manera, muchas bendiciones. Estimada Lucía, estimado Cárdenas, y todos los presentes, gracias por sus saludos. Bien, si en caso no puedo comunicarme con el número institucional, en el número aquí presente, mi persona, my name is Eric René Sánchez, y nuestra Miss, que va a dictar la sesión 2 de English Advanced C2, es la Miss Yenny, esperemos que ustedes estén disfrutando de su curso, ¿sí? Recuerden estar atentos, y por temas de manejo de audio no se puede usar mucho el micrófono, ¿sí? Porque se da un poquito de desorden. Entonces tenemos el chat del Meet para poder comunicarnos. Bien, frecuencia son los martes y jueves, hora Perú, 4 de la tarde, duración 2 semanas. Hoy cumplimos la primera semanita. Hoy, 19 de octubre, cumplimos primera semana de clases. Bien, nuestra sesión number 2 va a ser Phrasal verbs, ¿sí? Ustedes muy atentos con la clase, si tienen dudas y consultas, en el chat. Bien, la metodología de trabajo 100% dinámica, clases en vivo y también son clases grabadas. ¿Dónde se envía? ¿Dónde se adjunta su archivo, su enlace o su clase grabada? En su grupo de WhatsApp. El examen final va a ser el otro jueves, donde ustedes van a estar en clases. Bien, la certificación, ustedes van a tener certificado con inglés avanzado C2 a nombre de la institución del Tecnológico. Va a ser 90 horas académicas y el costo simbólico de 30 neosoles. Trámite opcional. Bien, estimados participantes, los envíos son en digital y en físico. Recuerden que en físico se hace una previa coordinación con la oficina de certificación. Una versión paralela para que ustedes puedan ingresar al curso. Un momento, por favor. Ya, bien, disculpen, estoy aquí. Bueno, ya. Una versión paralela para que ustedes puedan estar en clase. Encomina al Señor tu camino, confía en Él, y el acto de Salmos 37, versículo 5. ¿sí? Hasta aquí, estimados participantes, ¿cómo están? ¿Cómo se encuentran? ¿Listos para la clase de inglés avanzado 2? A ver, en el chat, ¿sí? Para que entre nuestra Miss para dictar el curso, a ver. Del 1 al 5, ¿cómo estamos? Excelente. ¿Estamos ready o no estamos ready, estimados participantes? Ready. Bien, estimada participante, bien, sí. Bien, estimada Miss, dear Miss, welcome nuevamente al curso de English Advanced. Les cedo el paso para que usted pueda dictar su cursito de inglés, la parte sesión 2. Muchas gracias, nos vemos al final de la clasecita.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eric, for the presentation, and good afternoon, everybody. I hope you are feeling okay, and thank you so much for connecting on time. Let's start our class. Good afternoon to our course, English Advanced C2. Today, as Mr. Eric said, today we are going to work with our second session, phrasal verbs. Can you see my screen? Yes, right? Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, thank you for answering. Thank you very much. Okay, let's continue. Let's move on. So, before we start, we have some online classroom rules. Be on time, which is perfect for you because it's 4 o'clock. Be prepared, as I said, have everything ready. You need to take some notes, you need to record something, put it aside you so that you can have everything you need for joining the class. Raise your hand or click on the button so that you have any doubts or questions. Enjoy learning, and because we are here to learn, right? And let's start with our sign. Welcome, everyone, dear wonderful students. I wanted to take a moment to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for joining our online session today. Your presence here means the world to me, and I am truly appreciative of your dedication to learning and growing together. Remember, learning is a journey, and we are on this path together. Your willingness to connect, learn, and collaborate in this digital space demonstrates your resilience and determination. Let's continue to support one another, embrace challenges as opportunities, and celebrate our achievements along the way. Thank you once again for being such fantastic online students. I'm excited to continue this educational journey with you, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. If you ever need assistance or have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Let's make this online learning experience a memorable and enriching one. Together, we can achieve great things. With warm regards, Miss Jenny Vilca. Thank you so much for being on this amazing class. Today, we are going to start with our phrasal verbs. Do you have any ideas what phrasal verbs are? Can you write down the answers in the chat? What are phrasal verbs? What are they used for? Any ideas? ¿Alguna idea de qué son phrasal verbs? No? Can you write down the answers in the chat? Here on my screen, I have some phrasal verbs. For example, get in. Then I have get on. And then I have put on. Take off. Tear up. Pick up. Run away, and look after. What can you see here on the things that I've highlighted or put into a square on a circle? What do you see? What elements can you see? What elements do you see? Excellent. You see a verb and a preposition. Very good. Yes. For example, you can see over here the verb get, and then you have a common preposition that we use in English, get in, right? So here, as you can see, normally, if we talk about independent words like this one, get, you know that it has lots of different meanings depending on the context, right? That single word, get. You can talk about get to obtain, you can use get to reach a place, but when you put it with this, with an, like you said, a preposition, like in this case, getting, can you take a look at the picture over here? You have a picture, you have a car and a person outside the car. What's the intention when you use get in? Normally, if you say get as something that you buy, but when you put it right here in this context, it's get in. It's a verb and another particle, right? To enter a place. Excellent. That's get in, right? The same thing with this picture over here in the bus and this group of students. They are using get on, right? Over here in this little boy, he's using the word put and also the particle on, right? And the same with the verb take, over here in this part, take and off, right? Here, there, and also you have a preposition. Yeah. So sometimes phrasal verbs are quite hard to learn if you don't practice them because they need to be used in that way. For example, you cannot mix them, ¿no? No los podemos mezclar, so we have to learn them by heart. Los tenemos que, in a certain way, memorize them, right? Tratar de memorizarlos. What's really good for me, or what it works for most people, is that try to use them in context as much as you can, so that you can get used to it, right? Lo que más podemos decir es que los uses constantemente, use constantly, so that you can get used to that word, that expression, and when to use it, ¿no? Lo mejor es eso, ¿no? Practicarlo en contexto y usarlo de manera often, ¿no? Frecuentemente. So let's see our next part. As you have written down in the chat, I can say that you have seen this. What are phrasal verbs? As you said, phrasal verbs are combinations of a verb and one or more particles, right? Yes, it's a verb, and also you can have one, and sometimes you can have more particles that are together with that verb. Typically, they are adverbs or prepositions, right? That function as a single unit with a unique meaning. For example, we have over here the word take off. Take off. In that case, if you can see my pictures over here, I have considered the two uses of take off. In that part, it's going to be like when used together, take off can mean to physically remove something. To physically remove something, as you can see over here. For example, you enter a place, you get into a place, and it's really hot inside, and you take off your coat or take off your jacket. That's one way, right? Physically remove something. Other intention of takeoff, it's initiating flight for an aircraft, right? Like you can see it here on my second picture. So it's the plane took off or the plane is taking off, right? So it's on the ground, but now it's elevating into the sky, ¿no? Se está elevando, es despegando. So it has two intentions, right? So example, the plane will take off at 3 p.m. That's the intention for takeoff. These two situations, like you said. Good afternoon, Soledad. Soraida? Okay, let's continue. What else do we have over here? Also, the phrasal or the meaning of a phrasal verb is often different from the individual meanings of its components. That's what we were explaining at the beginning, right? Sometimes you know the meaning of a verb or a single word, but when you put it with a particle like adverbs or prepositions, they tend to change, or they are gonna change, okay? No matter what, but they are gonna change the meaning. Ya cuando le agregas una partícula extra, pues el significado va a cambiar, ¿no? So phrasal verbs, ¿no? Como dice aquí, phrasal verbs are an essential part of English, and understanding them is crucial for effective communication, ¿no? Son esenciales en nuestra parte del inglés y por lo tanto van a formar o van a tener ese papel crucial, ¿no? Para una comunicación efectiva. Entonces, here's the breakdown of the components of a phrasal verb, things that we already mentioned. You have the verb and you have the particles. The verb is the main action word, and the particle, it's one or more adverbs or one or more prepositions that are combined with the verb to create a new meaning, ¿no? Allí vamos a crear ya un nuevo significado, to create a new meaning with you add phrasal, or that component, like an adverb or preposition to the original word, to the verb. So far, so good. How are you understanding phrasal verbs? I bet you have used them, right, before. Ya creo que han usado antes phrasal verbs. Yes? Yeah, two or more words. All right. Okay. So phrasal verbs can be transitive or intransitive. What's the meaning of transitive? It's transitive phrasal verbs are those kind of verbs that require an object to complete their meaning. You can see it clearly on my following example. She turned off the lights. So as you can see, the word off over here, which is the particle that you are adding to the verb turn, it's the particle. And the lights, it's the object. So you turn off the lights, and it's going to be the same thing. And in this case, you say, I'm sorry, let's put it over here. You say turn on is the opposite, right? So you have over here turn on and turn off, two situations. Over here, you are apagando, and turn on, you are encendiendo, ¿no? The lights, the TV, the oven, things that require that movement. Turn on, turn off. What's the meaning of intransitive? Intransitive phrasal verbs? Well, these phrasal verbs do not require an object and can stand alone in a sentence, like you can see it in my example. Woke up. He woke up early. In this case, woke and up is an intransitive phrasal verb because it does not require an object, because the meaning is already given. It's obvious. So you say woke up. The same thing with get up. Yes, so that's the difference between transitive and intransitive. Transitive because you need an object. Intransitive, you do not need an object. And the meaning of the verb or the intention is already obvious. So what's going to be my advice for you? Phrasal verbs are used in various contexts and are an essential part of everyday spoken and written English. They can often make English more idiomatic, and also you sound natural. Learning phrasal verbs can be challenging due to the multiple meanings some of them have, but it's crucial for fluency in the language. As you can see here in my example of these three most used verbs in English, for example, get, as you can see, it has different combinations. You can use get over and you are gonna say to recover from a health problem or to overcome a difficult emotional situation. That's the intention of get over. Then you have get along over here, get along, which is different because it says that you have a friendly relationship with somebody. You get along with your sister, you get along with your colleagues, you get along with your relatives, other people, right? Get away with. You get away with, that means that you escape with no punishment. For example, get away with murder, right? Could be like that. Another use with get is get back. And what's the meaning of get back? It says return from a place or to recover. Mhm. So then you have get by, and it's gonna be like live without money. Yeah, live without money. You get by, maybe eventually you have some part-time jobs, but you get by, right? So the other will be get in or get into, to enter a place, to arrive by plane, bus, or train. Then we have get off, which means leave a bus, leave a train, or leave a subway. Or also can be dismount from a bicycle, ¿no? Bajarse de la bicicleta, dismount from a horse, to remove a stain, ¿no? Quitar una mancha, or to be found innocent. To be found innocent, that's related to the law, right? Relacionado a las leyes. A get on, which is another use for get, it's gonna be to enter, to board a bus, ¿no? Subirse, como vimos, a un bus. Then we have train, subway, plane, or have a friendly relationship, right? Have a friendly relationship. And our last use of get is this one, get over. We already seen that, right? Vimos ese al inicio. I'm sorry. Okay, so now next to get, we have break and we have come. Do you have any idea how break change when you say breaking? Any ideas? Can you share? Maybe you have an example of breaking that you can tell me. De repente tienes algún ejemplo con el breaking que lo puedas compartir, or what's the meaning of that word, maybe? Mhm. Or maybe you can put it into context, o quizás lo puedes poner en contexto en una oración so that we can understand what is breaking. Mhm. Tear into pieces. Mhm. Interrumpir. Breaking. Very good. Excellent. It can also be related to when you enter a building without permission, cuando entras a un lugar sin permiso. Breaking. Sí, could be. Could be more related to theft or vandalism when you want to commit a crime. Comete como que un robo o algo así, something like that. Yes. Mhm. Yeah, very good. Thank you. What's gonna be for you this one? Break away. Okay, you have any minutes. Share your ideas. Break away. Mhm. Okay. Any ideas with breakaway? Separate. Separate. For example, if you are working for a company and you don't like the salary or you don't like The environment in the office, well, you can decide to break away and start looking for another job, or why not, to start up your own business. Yes, that's breakaway, ¿no? Como que se dejar, alejarte, renunciar en cierta forma, ¿no? A ese trabajo. Okay, what about breakdown? Any ideas? Exactly. Escape from someone's hold, or also from a job. Mhm. Breakdown. Any ideas of breakdown? Excellent. Good example, Juan. Mhm. That's a good example for breakdown. Mhm. Suppose that you have a car and you need to go somewhere, and the car is not starting, the engine is not functioning, so your car is broke down, right? Excellent. The radio is broke down, mhm, or broken down, right? Perfect. Good example. And what about break out of? Break out of. Excellent. Please break down the door. Mhm. Break out of, like in the prison, right? Exactly. Also, very good. Break out of, when you are in, like a hostage. So you can say, I break out of my, and break off. Mhm. Break off is like when you finish or you end something, like a relationship, like a negotiation or business, or when you are into a discussion and you suddenly or abruptly you end that thing, you break off, no? For example, you can say, my friend has decided to break off his engagement, no? Su compromiso, break off. And what about break into? What's the meaning of break into? Exactly. Force. It would be something similar to break in. Mhm. Enter. Very good. Mhm. Enter a place. Excellent. Good ideas. Break up. What about break up? Any ideas of break up? Mhm. Okay. What ideas? Disintegrate. Very good. Divide. Yeah. Or when you have a relationship with somebody and you decided to put the relationship to an end, well, you can say, I break up with my boyfriend. Exactly. I'll finish a relationship. I break up with my girlfriend, things like that. Right? Excellent. But also, it can be used for mm, multiple meanings, right? When you want to divide things into smaller parts, dividir algo en partes pequeñas, it's also break up. What about breakout? breakout. Breakout is, yeah, could be like that, but it means suddenly to start something. When we talk about diseases, for example, COVID-19 break out suddenly without even realizing what it was. So it's going to be like in that case. For diseases or conflicts about words, for example, you can say a war broke out in the country in the north, things like that. When something happens suddenly and abruptly. And what about breakthrough? Breakthrough. Breakthrough, run away. Mhm. It can also be something related to medicine, right? Algo relacionado a la medicina. Breakthrough. After many years of researching or investigating or making some trials, they finally break through a cure and found a cure. It's also like that. Thank you so much for participating with the verb break. What about this other one? Come. We have over here come along. What it's your idea of this verb? Come along. Mhm. To accompany. Come along. Come along. Yeah, accompany someone or somebody to a place, right? Come along with me. I don't want to be alone. I want to be with somebody. So come along to the party. Mhm. Excellent. Come along. What about come down with? Come down with. No, ven solo. ¿Cuál? El come along, Ángela. No, acompáñame sería más. It's the meaning. Ujú. Ajá, cuando decimos come along with the G at the end. No E, G at the end. Ajá, I, exacto. Es como que tú le dices come along with me. O sea, es decir, accompany me. I don't want to be just me. No quiero ser solo yo. Please come along with me. ¿Sí? Very good. So come down with, yeah, to start a bad situation like an illness. Yeah. Come down with. Exactly. When someone becomes ill or you get a disease, ¿no? Contracts an illness. Te contagias de algo. So I think I'm coming down with the flu. I think I'm coming down with COVID, could be, right? Very good. Thank you. What about come into? Come into. Mhm. Yes, exactly. Inherit something, right? Heredar. So you come into, you can say, my friend came into a huge amount of money after his grandfather passed away. could be like that, right? Mi amigo recibió una suma considerable de dinero después de que falleció su abuelo. Come into, you inherit something. Recibes una herencia. Inherit, come into. What about come out? Come out. Come out, disappear or appear. Exactly, appear. Come out, salir, no, pero salimos, no. Come out, exponer, expose something. Come out. Yes, it's emerge, appear. No, you can say the sun comes out from behind the clouds. Also, it can be related to reveal information. Next, reveal, emerge, appear. What about come off? Come off to reveal exactly in here. What is come off? To succeed, to achieve a result, ¿no? Tener éxito is come off. You can say my plan or my project came off perfectly. Everybody was pleased in the meeting. Excellent. What about come over? Come over. Excellent. Llegar. To get there, to get here, exactly. Come over, no? Feel free to come over to my place anytime, right? The doors are open for you. Next, come up with. Come up with. Excellent. You have an idea, right? You have an idea and you come up with a solution, maybe something out of the blue, something peculiar, so you can come out of or come up with. Think of an idea, produce an idea, a solution, a plan, something. Well, for example, your boss can ask you, can you come up with a new marketing strategy for our product? So they're asking you to innovate, they're asking you for better ideas to surprise the audience, to surprise the buyers, the clients, the customers. Come across, our last word, come across. Come across, excellent. To behave in a way that makes people believe they have a particular characteristic. Okay, Betty, don't worry. To make we will promise, like walk across. Yeah. Come across, the meaning is what you say. encounter, encontrar, or find something or someone unexpectedly. Maybe you are walking down the street and you suddenly come across a friend from high school, or your ex-boss, or your ex-teacher, or former teacher. So you come across somebody without even planning. Sí, eso es come across, encontrarte con alguien o con algo de manera inesperada, sin planificarlo, without planning it. Okay, that's come across. Mhm. Or your ex-boyfriend. That's okay. It could happen, right? So let's continue. As you can see, one word, one verb can have lots of different phrasal verbs or adverbs or prepositions that are going to help you in different situations. In this case, we have seen get, break, and come. Let's continue with our class. Over here, we have a situation. I've included in the presentation phrasal, typical phrasal verbs that you can use in different situations. I've considered 5 different situations in my presentation. The first one is at a restaurant. At a restaurant, I'm going to use these phrasal verbs. I'm going to use ring, I'm sorry. I'm going to use ring up. I'm going to use bring over, pass around, and some other phrasal verbs. Here I have bring, and pass. What's the meaning of bring up? If you can see or read the example, you will find it much more clearly than just reading the meaning. For example, the waiter will ring up our bill after we finish our meal. So that's the intention of this phrasal verb, ring up. Then we have bring over. That means the server will bring over your drinks shortly. Bring over when you take something to the table so that the people over there can drink, can eat, and enjoy, right? Pass around is please. Pass around the bread basket. So you are asking the next person or the person that is next to something to give it to you, right? Pass me or pass around. Another phrasal verb that we are going to use in this situation is call for. We're going to use call for, order up, place for, place the order for. What's going to be called for in the situation of a restaurant? I'll call for the grilled chicken, please. Is when something that you ask the waiter to bring to your table. Order up. Let's order up some appetizers for the table. And also, we should place the order now. We are ready to eat. So these are some of the phrasal verbs I've considered in this situation at a restaurant. And then we have these 2 more. We have settle up, check out, and pack up. Settle up, it means let's settle up. I cover the bill this time. So to pay the bill or to complete the financial transaction for the meal. After you finish eating in a restaurant, you take a look at the bill and then you say, let's settle up. I'll cover the bill this time. In checkout, once we finish dessert, we can check out and leave. And pack up. Can you please pack up the rest of the pasta? I can't finish it all now. So with these phrasal verbs, I've created this activity. I've created a role play using the words or the phrasal verbs I've already mentioned, 9 of them. So take a look at the situation. and it's gonna be like Alice and Mark. Alice is gonna be the customer, and Mark is gonna be her waiter. What's the scene? Alice is dining at a restaurant, and Mark, the waiter, is attending to her table. For example, it says, Alice is looking at the menu because she's going to decide what to order. Everything looks so delicious. I think I'll start with a Caesar salad. Mark, on the other side, says, great choice, man. I'll take your order and bring it up right away. Would you like anything to drink? Alice says, yes, I'll have a glass of red wine, please. Of course, one glass of red wine coming right up. I'll bring it over as soon as it's ready. Thank you. And also, could you please pass around some bread while I wait? Certainly. I'll bring over the bread basket and pass it around to the table. So as you see, the conversation have used different phrasal verbs to connect or to convey the ideas. Let's see. While Alice enjoys her salad and wine, Mark checks on her from time to time. How is your salad, man? It's excellent, thank you. I'm delighted to hear that. When you're ready to order your main course, just call for me and I'll take your order. After finishing her salad, Alice is ready to order her main course. I'm ready to order up my main course now. I'll have the grilled salmon, please. Certainly, the grilled salmon it is. And how would you like it, cooked? Medium, please. Perfect choice. I'll place the order for the grilled salmon and it should be ready in about 20 minutes. Once Alice finishes her main course, she's ready for dessert. I couldn't resist dessert. I like to settle up now and order a piece of cake to go. Absolutely, man. I'll check out your bill and get that chocolate cake to go for you. Thank you, Mark, for your excellent service tonight. It was my pleasure, Alice. I hope you had a wonderful dining experience. Please come back anytime. They proceed to settle up the bill, and Mark packs up a slice of chocolate cake for Alice to take home. Okay, as you can see in this example, they have been using phrasal verbs in that situation. It doesn't mean that you have to use phrasal verbs all the time in your conversation. But what it says that when you add phrasal verbs, that increase what? Your fluency and the natural way you sound when you speak. So try to practice this kind of phrasal verbs in this situation, in a restaurant. So when you go to a restaurant, try to include these 9 phrasal verbs in your conversation. I know sometimes it's quite hard for us to practice these phrasal verbs or expressions in English because our reality maybe is that everybody around us speaks Spanish, but in your mind, you can say it and then you will remember, what's the verb to talk about when you're going to pay the bill? Oh, settle up. What's the phrasal verb that I use when I want somebody to give me something to take my home? Pack up and things like that. So, so what about this conversation? Have you used any of the phrasal verbs you have seen in this role play? ¿Has usado alguna vez estos phrasal verbs en este situation que presenté, el role play? No, never. Okay, so not now, as I said before, my advice is for you to start using them in your mind, in your sentences, in different activities, so that you can get used to it. In this case, I've only presented 9 phrasal verbs, but you know, there are tons of them that you can use and in different situations. As I said today, I've prepared 5 different situations. The first situation you have seen is at a restaurant, my role play, when you ask for your meal and the waiter is over there. How was the waiter? Was nice? Was rude? How was the waiter? ¿Cómo se portó el mesero? Nice. It was nice. And all the time he was always with the client, right? Next to the client in case she needs something. Right. Very good. So my other situation is at the airport. Great. This is going to be my second situation. Imagine that you have to travel abroad, so you have to be at the airport, and these phrasal verbs are going to help you to communicate in a better way at the airport. Okay? Excellent. So we have, in this part, I've considered checking, right? Checking. What's the meaning of checking? It says over here in my example, please arrive early to check in for your flight. Register, exactly. Be on time for the check-in, especially if they are international flights. I suppose, or I think you have to be 3 or 4 hours before the flight takeoff, right? Presentarse, very good. Show all your documents and the boarding pass so that you can get on the plane without any trouble. Very good. Presentarse temprano, exactly. What's the meaning of takeoff? We have seen this word before at the beginning of the class, right? Takeoff. And we can see it right here. Our flight is scheduled to take off at 2:30 p.m. Excellent. When an aircraft becomes airborne and starts its flight. Very good. And what about hold up? Hold up. What's going to be the meaning of that? Any idea? If you can see the example, I think you're going to get the idea of what its meaning of hold up. Exactly. Demorado, ¿no? No sale, está en suspenso. Why? Normally because of bad weather or a situation, an unexpected situation that can means that you cannot take off. Retrasarse. Muy bien. Due to. And what's the meaning of due to? What is this word? Due to. Excellent. The reason. Excellent. Due to. La razón o el motivo por qué está retrasado es due to bad weather. Debido a. Exactly. So, what else do we have here? Standby. Standby. I think many of you have used this. Standby. I miss my earlier flight, so I'm on standby for the next one. So that means that you are exactly waiting. You are waiting for the next connection so you can take your flight. What's the meaning of touchdown? Touchdown. Excellent. Yes, very good. You can see the example right here. The plane will touch down in about 20 minutes. Exactly. Landing. Very good, Luis. Landing. Perfect. It's when the plane arrives to the airport. Excellent. Good explanation. The other word, it's also excellent. Landing. So you see, you have words. You have words to express the same thing. But the difference or the richness of the language is this, that you can use phrasal verbs. If you normally use land, you can switch once in a while and you can say touchdown. And I'm going to say, wow, you are learning phrasal verbs. You are sounding more like a native speaker. So that's the intention of phrasal verbs. What about pick up? Excellent. I'll pick you up from the airport when your flight lands. It could be the same thing when you go for your kids to school. You pick up your children, you pick up a person from the airport, you pick up a person from a disco, from downtown, things like that, ¿no? Recoger a alguien. Ir por alguien, exactly. Pick up. Also, could be something that is on the floor, right? So you pick up your sock or you pick up an earring that was on the floor, something like that. Pick up. Or you pick up some trash that you found on the ground, right? Also. Okay, so we have now the reading time. Love takes flight. Mhm. Love takes flight. What do you think the reading is going to be about if you read this title, Love Takes Flight? Exactly, a suitcase. You pick up a suitcase. If you read this title, Love Takes Flight, what comes to your mind? Si leemos el título, Love Takes Flight, what comes to mind? A person that travels a lot. When you finally find the true love. Yeah, could be. Let's read. Mhm. Meet Sarah and David, two strangers whose paths cross at the bustling airport. What's the meaning of bustling airport? Have you ever used this word? To fall in love? Love go on. And what about this word or this expression? Bustling airport. Noisy, very good. Too much noise, very good. Too much noise, yes. Impossible, right? Okay, so meet Sarah and David. Little did they know what their chance encounter at the terminal would lead to a love story that will span the love. And what is that? Will span the glove. What do you understand for this? What's the meaning of this expression? Will span the glove. Excellent. Or it will cross borders, mhm, around the world, extended, right? So our scene number one is going to be our check-in, the check-in. Sarah had always dreamed of traveling the world, and today was the day her adventure began. She arrived at the airport with her passport and luggage, excited and ready for her journey. Sarah, we need to check in at the airline counter now. I can't believe this is finally happening. As they approached the counter, David, a fellow traveler, was in line ahead of them. Hi there. Have you received your boarding pass yet? Yes, I just got it. David and Sarah found themselves seated next to each other on the plane. The flight attendants announced that their flight was about to take off. Ladies and gentlemen, our flight is scheduled to take off in an hour. Please fasten your seatbelts. Ready for this adventure? Absolutely. Midway through the flight, an announcement came over the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing some bad weather, so we might be held up for a while. As the passengers waited patiently, David and Sarah struck up a conversation, sharing their travel stories and dreams. If you miss your connecting flight, you can always try to stand by for the next one. That's true. It's been nice talking to you, David. Finally, the plane began its descent and the passengers prepared for their landing. We'll be touching down in about 30 minutes. As the plane descended toward the runway, Sarah and David exchanged contact information, hoping to stay in touch after their journey. After the plane landed, David helped Sarah retrieve her luggage from the baggage check. I had a great time talking to you, Sarah. I love to stay in touch. Me too, David. And thank you for offering to pick me up when I land at my next destination. As they parted ways at the airport, they knew that their love story had taken off in a most unexpected place. Their connection had been a delightful boarding pass to a world of adventure, and they couldn't wait to see where their journeys will lead them next. So, what do you think about this story? Did you like the story about David and Sarah? Have you experienced something similar, or do you know somebody who have experienced something like that? No? Would you like to experience something like that when you meet somebody that's really cute and you can talk without worrying about anything? Yeah, you had a similar situation. Nice, Susie. Also, Juan. Nice experience, yes. You had that experience. Very good, Chris. Good. So far we have seen two different scenarios about these phrasal verbs used. In the first one at the restaurant, the second one at the airport. Mhm. Good. So our third situation is at the hospital. So in this part, in this situation, we are also gonna use check in. Quite similar for the word that we use at the airport. Remember? We use at the airport also check in, and it says, please arrive early to check in for your surgery. It's going to be the same thing, right? It's the process of arriving at the hospital for a scheduled appointment or for admission. When you are feeling not well, so you go to the hospital, to the front desk, and you do the check-in. And what about admit? What's the meaning of admit to? The doctor will admit you to the hospital for further evaluation. Aceptar, ¿verdad? Recibir. Yeah, exactly. Mabel, number one is register. Admit to. Aceptarte, recibirte, ¿no? Aceptar. To use or to see you. ¿no? To examine you at the hospital. Sorry about it. Fill out. What's the meaning of fill out? We have here, please fill out these forms before your appointment. Excellent. Fill out like complete, right? Complete these forms before your appointment. Llenar un formato, exactly. Ujú. What about tied off? The sergeant, I'm sorry, the sergeant will tie off blood vessel to prevent further bleeding. And then we have come around. Come around could be after the procedure. It may take some time for the patient to come around. It's like a recover, right? Recover from surgery, recovering from anesthesia. Tourniquet, very good. Pass out. What is the meaning of pass out? She passed out in the waiting room. Excellent. Lose consciousness, right? Faint is another word. Mire, mire, acá está. See, I can say faint or I can say pass out. It's the same thing. Then we have over here, come down with. Lo vimos también at the beginning. We have seen this expression, come down with. Very good. Enfermarse, to become ill. With a particular medical condition or with a disease. He has come down with the flu. Check out. What's the meaning of check out? Dar de alta, exactly, ¿no? Como el check-in, te reciben en the hospital, y el check-out is when you are feeling well, when you are fully recovered, they're gonna give you the check-out of the hospital, right? Discharge from the hospital, ¿no? Como dicen, you finish the paperwork, you receive instruction for post-hospital care, and you leave the medical facility. Dar de alta, very good. Registrar la salida, excellent. Okay, so based on these words, based on these phrasal verbs, I prepared this presentation. A journey to recovery. Okay, I'm going to give you some minutes so that you can read what you have seen, what you can see on the screen. A ver, todos leyendo. A journey to recovery. I'm going to make some questions to check if you have been reading. Okay. What is the name of the woman? Oh, who is the main character in this story? Emma. Very good. Emma. What happened to Emma? What's wrong with Emma? Mm. She is sick. Very good. That's the common situation for her, right? She has always been healthy and full of life, right? Uh-huh. But what happened one day? What's the meaning of this expression that I put in here? What happened one day? Mm-hmm. Her world turned upside down. What's the meaning of that? Aha, excellent. She started feeling sick. Mhm. Excellent. Dizzy. Her world turned upside down quiere decir que su mundo se descontroló, ¿no? Upside down. Lo que está normal, like a normal thing, and then it started changing into a complicated situation. Very good. And then what happened? One sunny morning, Emma woke up. How did she feel that morning? Exactly. What was her symptoms? What were her symptoms? ¿Cuáles eran sus síntomas? A ver, de Emma. Fever, high fever, una fiebre alta, persistent cough, very good. So, her family, it says here, rush her to the local hospital. What is that? Excellent, fast. They move fast because they were alarmed by her deteriorating condition, right? Deteriorating condition. So her family rushed her, took her right away. At the hospital, Emma needed to check in at the reception desk. But she was okay? No, she felt weak and worried. What is the meaning of this word over here? Let's put it with red. Excellent. Un malestar, ¿no? Something in your body that is not normal. Hoping. She hoping. What is this hoping? Like jumping? What is this hopping? Jumping, jumping? Excellent. Esperanza. Esperando, right? Hoping. Ujú. Esperando que su malestar was nothing serious. Excellent. Hoping. Okay, very good. Thank you so much for reading. Let's continue. Okay, let's read. Please read. Okay, it says after a thorough examination, the doctor decided to admit Emma to the hospital for observation. What's the meaning of thorough? Deep, uh, careful, detailed, exhaustive. After a thorough examination, very good. Her condition was more serious than anyone had anticipated. Emma was handed, what is this? Exactly, more serious than they expected or anticipated. Emma was handed a stack of forms. Exactly. Le dieron many documents, many pages to fill out. Excellent. As she completed the paperwork is like the documents, right? All the forms over here. Look at this. Take a look at this. Over here, they use forms, and over here, they use paperwork. You see how they can, the dynamics of the words? They use different words to refer to the same thing. That's what we need to do when we speak or when we write. Try not to repeat the same word, but use a synonym that can help you to convey the idea. What about this one, the last part? Uncertainty loomed over her. Excellent. Her condition was more serious. Okay, what about this one? This. Exactly. So she was worried. She wasn't feeling okay, especially when you are healthy and you suddenly start feeling really sick. It's to be worried, right? Necesitas preocuparte. You have to worry. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue reading. During her stay at the hospital, Emma's health continued to deteriorate. She developed complications and needed surgery to address internal bleeding. The medical team had to tie off the wound to stop the bleeding, a crucial procedure that marked the beginning of her challenging journey. After the surgery, Emma was weak, and it took time for her to come around. She had her family by her side, providing unwavering support during the trying moments of her recovery. Internal bleeding. Wound. Providing excellent. Internal bleeding, sangrado interno. Exactly. They need to stop that because that's serious. When you have internal bleeding, they need to stop that right away. Otherwise, you can die. Mhm. Wound, herida. Excellent. Yes. What about the last word or the last expression over here? Providing unwavering support. Always there, right? by her side, telling her, please, you can do it. Be strong. Do not let it go. Right? You are a warrior. You can do it. Okay, let's continue. A momentary setback. It says, as Emma's conditions improved, she had moments of strength and hope. But one day, while taking a walk in the hospital garden, she suddenly felt dizzy and passed out. Medical professionals rushed to her aid, and a series of tests were conducted to determine the cause of her sudden setback. After a series of tests and treatments, the doctors finally diagnosed Emma with a severe case of the flu. She had come down with it unexpectedly, a revelation that explained the mysterious symptoms that had plagued her. Excellent. So, strength and hope. What is that? Excellent. She had moments of strength and hope. Excellent. Fuerza y esperanza. Dizzy, you mentioned that, right? So she suddenly felt dizzy. What's the meaning of dizzy? Mhm. Medical professional rushed to her aid. Mareada, mareado. Ajá. No, como que todo da vueltas, dizzy. Ujú. Rush, medical professionals or the doctors or the nurses, the people at the hospital, rush, ran where she was to her aid, to help her, right? Rush, rush to her aid. And what's the meaning of setback? Setback. What's gonna be this? The cause of her sudden setback. Ajá, exactly. Desarreglo, recaída, no? She was showing some improvements and recovery, and then out of the sudden she collapsed again. So that's not really good, right? Eso no es un buen síntoma. So they try to run different kind of tests to determine what's the cause of that, mhm, of that setback. Mira, otra palabra, recaída, no setback. Okay, what was the diagnose? ¿Cuál fue el diagnóstico? What was the diagnose? Flu, but a severe case, right? Algo complicated. Okay, months passed, and Emma slowly regained her strength. With the support of her family and a dedicated medical team, she was finally able to check out of the hospital, ready to face life challenges with renewed gratitude for her health. Emma left the hospital determined to cherish every moment and live life to the fullest, for she had learned that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit could overcome adversity and find its way back to health and happiness. I think this expression is not just only for diseases, I think it's for different difficult times you have to overcome, right? Creo que esta frase es para todas las situaciones, ¿no? In the darkest of times, en los momentos más difíciles, more complicated, difficult situations that you can experience, you can overcome. You overcome adversity. You overcome difficulties, right? Because your spirit, your willingness to overcome this is stronger than any other problems or difficulties or hardships that you can pass through, right? So the most important is to be healthy, to be happy, and to move forward, right? Estar contentos con salud y seguir avanzando. That's the most important part, right? Okay, and it's also your family. Your family have to be next to you to help you. Exactly. Trust on God. He's the only person that can help you overcome all these hardships in life. Okay, our fourth situation is at the store. Now we are gonna learn some verbs at the store or phrasal verbs. We have the first one, ring up. Mhm. We have ring up, and it says calculating the total amount that you have to pay. Leave behind, for example, when you are in a store and you suddenly leave your wallet, leave your purse, or a jacket, things like that, right? It says here a customer might leave behind their wallet or belongings, right? Ujú. Un cliente o la persona que ingresa a comprar, pues puede dejar algo allí. Eso es leave behind. Check in when you want somebody to help you at the store to find a piece of clothing, to find a piece of jewelry, or just an advice to see if the outfit you plan to buy it's perfect for you or not. So there are some people that dedicate to that kind of job. So you can do that at the store, checking to help other people. Here, search for, it's to look for something, right? If you has lost something, you start looking or searching everywhere so that you can find it, right? Look through is when you examine carefully, no? Ask around when you start making questions to the people that has been in the same place as you, like questioning, or have you seen this? Where were you at this hour? I left something here. Have you seen it? So you start questioning. Have you seen a red jacket? Have you seen a blue purse? Something like that. So you start looking for assistance also in finding an object in a store. Come across. Come across is to find or encounter something. We also see this, right? Lo vimos también al inicio, el come across, unexpectedly while searching or exploring. And pick up also, if I've seen this word, right? To lift something from a surface or location. In a store, they can refer to picking up an item from a shelf or the floor. So let's see what happened over here. A lost and found story. So I'm going to give you some minutes so that you can read this. Yeah, this reading time. A lost and found story. Okay, one busy afternoon at the bustling department store, Sarah was in charge of ringing up purchases at the cashier. As the day went on, a customer approached her, looking rather frantic. I think I've left behind my wallet, he said, clearly worried. Sarah checked in with her colleagues and they began to search for the missing wallet. They looked through the aisles and even asked around to see if anyone had found it. Unfortunately, it was nowhere to be found. Just when hope seemed lost, a diligent store employee came across the wallet, wedged between a stack of sweaters. They picked it up and quickly brought it over to the relieved customer. He was extremely grateful and thanked the store's staff for their help. The story of the lost wallet had a happy ending, thanks to the teamwork and effort put into finding and reuniting it with its owner. So, what do you understand by the word frantic? What's this expression? It says looking rather frantic. Excellent. Uh-huh. Ex- Colleagues, some way. Molesta también. Be frantic, indignado. Ujú. What's gonna be colleagues? Excellent. Your partners, co-workers, very good. Co-workers, colleagues, the people that work with you in the same company. Mhm. And what about this word? Aisles. Excellent. Pasillos. When you go to the supermarkets, there are lots of different aisles. There is an aisle for beauty products. There is an aisle for cleaning products. There is an aisle for rice, another aisle for sugar, another aisle for candies, sweets, things like that. No, pasillos, excellent passageway. Passageway, yeah. And what about wedge? Como que metido, escondido, ¿no? Wedge. The wallet wedge between, ahí como que entre, muy escondido, muy metido entre a stack of sweaters, atascado, acuñado. Ajá. Y stack, excelente. Ajá. Una pila, un montón, un cerro. Ujú. The sweaters. Very good. So, relieved. What's the meaning of relieved? The relieved customer. A lot of something, right? Excellent. Aliviado. Easy, right? Relaxed customer. And this word, excellent. The boss, the owner. Relaxed customer, very good. The owner is because something belongs to you, right? You are the owner. When something belongs to you, you are the owner of that object, of that thing. Mhm. A person that has something, right? Very good. Mhm. So our last situation is at the bank. At the bank, these are the phrasal verbs that we are going to use at the bank. Check out and take out. What's the meaning of check out? It says here, I need to check out my monthly bank statement to review my transactions. Review. You want to see them on paper, printed, so that you can see if the finances are correct or not, if your transactions has been the ones that you really made. To verify something. Exactly. You want to check, you want to review, you want to verify. That's checkout. And what about takeout? Takeout, for example, says, I need to take out $100 from my savings account. Excellent. Takeout. Savings account. Excellent. Getting cash. Withdraw also. Savings account, mire, con una S al bien, es una cuenta de ahorros. Excellent. Cuenta de ahorros, savings accounts. What about this word? Sort out. Look into. Sort out. Very, very similar to check out, right? El corte, exactly. Sort out. I need to sort out my credit card statements to track my expenses. Look into. Check carefully. Very good. Check carefully. Investigate. Investigate. Examine something in a detailed procedure. So the bank will look into the unauthorized charges on your account. Van a verificar, van a investigar. Okay, this is another role play at the bank. Let's see what happened. We have two characters. Alex, who is the account holder, and the bank employee. Let's see what happened. Alex walks into the bank to return an accidental large sum of money credited to his account. Excuse me, I have a bit of an issue. I checked my account this morning and there seems to be a mistake. There's an extra $10,000 in my account. Oh, that does sound unusual. Let me check it out for you. The bank employee investigates and confirms the error. I'm sorry. It appears there was a clerical error. We'll take out the extra $10,000 from your account right away. Alex, thank you for resolving that. What will you do in that case? Will you return the $10,000? Will you go to the bank and tell the mistake? Tell me your position about this. ¿Qué harían ustedes? No. Okay, let's continue. Let's see what happened. What What do you think will happen next? It's a lag, exactly. A ver, ¿qué crees que va a pasar ahora? Obviously, yeah, exactly. It's better to inform, right? Because then you need to pay back. Mhm. Yeah. But what do you think is going to happen next? Here, obviously, the bank employee has solved the problem, right? Ha solucionado el problema. Entonces vamos a ver what happened now. Later that day, Alex checks his account again and notices an even larger sum. Alex returns to the bank. There seems to be a problem again. Now there's $50,000 extra in my account. This is strange. Let me look into it for you. The bank employee investigates again and discovers another error. I'm really sorry about this, but it seems there was another mistake. We'll take it out immediately. Alex, all right, no worries. A few days later, Alex checks his account once more and finds a whooping 100,000 extra dollars instead. Returns to the bank, scratching his head seriously. It happened again. There's $100,000 extra this time. Blank employee, this is highly unusual. Let me investigate this issue thoroughly. The bank employee investigates and finally finds the source of the recurring errors. I found the problem. It seems our automated system keeps making these mistakes. We'll sort it out and ensure it doesn't happen again. Well, I appreciate the interest-free loans, but I really don't want any more unexpected money. We understand, Alex. We'll make sure to resolve this once and for all. They resolve the issue, and Alex's account is finally back to its normal balance. What would you do in that situation? Yeah, he had a lot of free time. So going back to the bank so many times instead of just calling, right? A situation like this has happened to you in some case, maybe not that extra amount of money, but something, or you know somebody who have experienced this. Yeah, he's really honest. Excellent. Sooner or later, truth is revealed. There's nothing hidden between the earth and sky. Yeah, a friend, you had a similar experience. Very good. Hmm. Yeah, it was a mistake with the automatic system. Never got this experience. Yeah. Okay. Good. So this is our class for phrasal verbs. How did you like the class so far? Have you ever used any of the phrasal verbs that you have seen in this class? ¿Has usado alguna vez estos verbos? Yeah, good, Jesus. Yeah. They resolve the problem without taking or having you to go to the bank so many times, right? In 7 day times, they solve it. Never, never. Some of the phrasal verbs you have seen today, you have used. Very good. Mhm. Good, good. Yes. Can you share a phrasal verb you really like and give me an example. Puedes poner ahí un ejemplo del phrasal verb que usas, porque el que más usas, the most used one, and give me the example of it. You can say the phrasal verb, you can say the meaning, and then you can say uh, a sentence. Yeah, it is time to use them. Right. As I said at the beginning, it, they make or they help you sound natural. Picks me up. My friend picks me up at 7. Seems something like that, Susie. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Don't forget the preposition up. Pick up. Excellent. Mm-hmm. Leila, what about turn light? Give up. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, Susie. We are here to learn. Thank you so much. Um, as I said, I want you to share your phrasal verb, the meaning of it, and use it in a sentence. Excellent. When I get up, I turn the lights on. Yeah, never give up. That's a good advice, right? Early, never give up. You, no matter how hard life can be, you have to continue. You have to go on and never give up. I always wake up at 5 a.m. Good one. Another phrasal verb that you can use, please. There are 77 people in the class, so please write your sentences. Take a time to write. A ver, tomémonos el tiempito de escribir una oración, one sentence. Yes. Very good. More examples? Okay, I'm sharing a link so that you can practice some phrasal verbs. Mhm. This weekend será the wish of Christmas. I turn off the lights. Very- Okay, from the 5 different situations I've presented, which one was your favorite? Which story did you like the most? Very good, Mabel. I need to check out my monthly cell bill to review my consumption. Yeah. Okay, I was asking you from the 5 different situations we presented in class, which one was your favorite? ¿Cuál te gustó más de las 5 situaciones que vimos? Vimos the bank, vimos the hospital, the restaurant, the airport, store, a journey to the coffee. At the bank, the hospital. Love takes flight. Very good. Good. Yeah, it was a sad one, right? The hospital. Okay, so in my presentation, I have considered something that's going to help you for fluency. O algo que nos ayuda en fluidez when we want to speak. It's tongue twisters. So, tongue twisters with phrasal verbs is our last activity. So, I'm going to give it to you so that you can practice them at home and try to improve your pronunciation on these words so that you are fast when you speak. I hope you have enjoyed today's class with phrasal verbs and start using them in your daily communication or in your daily basis. All right. Thank you so much for connecting. Thank you so much for being so active in the chat. I love to read all your comments, all your sentences. You are very active, and I can see that you really love the language and that you are willing to learn more each day. No, thank you. Gracias a ustedes por being there. Yes. Okay. So our next class is next week. My advice to you is review our first and second class during the weekend because next week we are going to have 2 more classes, and on Thursday, our day like this, we are going to have an evaluation. So please practice phrasal verbs and practice future tense review. Thank you so much for being here. Mr. Eric, are you there?
Miss present. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Good. Estimados participantes, queridos participantes, terminamos la sesión número 2. ¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo se encuentran? Muy bonita la clase, ¿verdad? Ok, vamos a cerrar la sesión. Pero antes también invitarles a ustedes, estimados participantes, que ya tenemos los cursos del mes de noviembre, ¿sí? Ya están publicados. Voy a enviarles el enlace para que ustedes se puedan registrar, ¿sí? Para que puedan repasar nuevamente en inglés. Es muy importante repaso inglés. Ahí les envío el enlace del WhatsApp, donde ustedes hacen registro y el número que le va a indicar va a salir, ¿no? Por favor, quiero registrarme en el curso, ¿no? Voy aquí y directo voy al chat. Y así entro a los cursos disponibles de este mes de noviembre, ¿ya? Entonces, los cursos que se vienen este mes va a ser inglés básico A1, en los 3 niveles, básico, intermedio y avanzado, hecho básico A2, italiano básico A1, portugués. Próximamente vamos a dictar otros cursos de idiomas. Estén atentos a nuestra página del Tecnológico. Así también pueden seguirnos en el Tecnológico, porque ahí vamos a aplicar los cursos de este mes de noviembre, que lo realizamos, y diciembre los cursitos últimos del año, ¿no? Y también, pues, invitarles a que nos sigan a nuestra página de YouTube, donde subimos todos los materiales, enlaces y de clase grabada, que se llama el Tecnológico, ¿no? A que ustedes nos siguen en esta paginita, y aquí nosotros subimos todos los materiales. Van a encontrar no solamente materiales de inglés, de otros cursos también, así que están bien. Aquí tenemos la carátula, diferentes cursos grabados que realizan los docentes, ustedes lo van a poder ver, siempre y cuando ustedes lo pueden seguir. La página enviar un enlace, así como todo seguimiento, ¿no? Que se suscriban a un canal, te va a enviar un enlace. Esto es lo importante de ustedes que nos sigan los videos, ¿sí? Tenemos bastante ya videos subidos a esta plataforma, entonces pueden seguirnos, ¿ya? Entonces vamos a hacer agradecimiento a nuestro Señor, al GUT, por todo es obra de Él. Gracias a Él estamos aquí como institución. Y también agradecemos a nuestra dos Miss por la sesión número 2 y la clase brindada. Recuerden que este mismo celular para cualquier duda, consulta, nuestra Miss fue Inivilca. Dice aquí, profesor, ¿el registro está por WhatsApp? Sí, al ustedes aceptar ese enlace, ya ustedes van a ingresar directamente al curso, ¿no? Y el que le va a entender va a ser el gerente general, y ahí le va a decir qué curso a ustedes les gustaría participar, y le va a enviar el enlace, ¿sí? El registro lo hace por WhatsApp, de forma práctica y dinámica, porque ustedes pueden ingresar. Ya, ahora también indicarles lo siguiente, la frecuencia martes y jueves, ya hemos terminado la primera semana de clase. Nos queda una semanita. El día jueves tenemos nuestro examen final, prepárense mucho, la clase grabada lo compartí más tardecito, para que ustedes puedan ir repasando todo este fin de semana, y la otra semana ya damos las indicaciones de su examen final. Recuerden que el horario es de 4 a 6 de la tarde, y media hora antes habilitamos la sala para dudas o consultas, o alguna práctica que les gustaría hacer, ¿no? Bien, la sesión número 2 fue Phrasal verbs, ¿no? La siguiente sesión va a ser idioms, y la sesión final, sesión 4, es el relative clause, ¿no? Entonces ustedes están invitados a seguir participando en el curso de Inglés Advanced C2. Bien, las clases son en vivo, como puedo ver, y también son grabadas. Se comparte en su grupo de WhatsApp, y los materiales también se envían con anticipación para que ustedes puedan descargar y atender la clase. Recuerden que tenemos un examen final el día jueves 26. ¿Va a haber plazo para el examen? Va a haber un plazo. También daré las indicaciones cómo hacer el examen. Bien, al finalizar el curso, vamos a tener una certificación. ¿Sí? Una certificación que va a ser con mención al inglés. A ver, ¿sí se nota la pantalla? Sí se nota la pantalla. ¿Sí? Entonces, cuando termine el curso, profesor, ¿me certifico en inglés avanzado C2? Sí, a nombre de la institución del Tecnológico. Es válido porque ustedes van al hacer un clic en el código QR, porque ahora, hoy en día, la tecnología, con un código QR, podemos acceder a diferentes ¿no? apps, así también podemos acceder a certificados que dan diferentes instituciones. Entonces, de esa forma tengo validez. Y también aquí va a ir debajito los convenios que hacemos presentación siempre al inicio. Estos convenios de aquí, ¿me parecen? Van también como carátula del certificado. Entonces, va a tener mucha más validez, ¿no? Porque está Municipal de Andahuaylas, está servidores civiles, miren, estos son los convenios. ¿Sí? Van a estar todos esos convenios. Está Ministerio de Justicia de Apurímac, Municipalidad de Turpo, todos son de Andahuaylas, y próximamente vamos a hacer con más instituciones privadas. De esta manera terminamos nuestra sesión 2, dudas y consultas estimados. Recuerden que el trámite del certificado es opcional. Y si por algún motivo no puedo tramitarme este mes, lo puedo realizar en el siguiente. Y en caso por el trabajo de la docente, queremos una colaboración con la institución, también son bienvenidos. Pero recuerden que todo trámite, toda donación es opcional, ¿sí? Y ya luego de eso nosotros podemos certificar. Bien. A nosotros cuando vamos a certificarnos, podemos hacer manera digital, que de forma práctica le llega a su WhatsApp, o en físico, una coordinación. Estamos en territorio nacional, hacemos envío, ¿no? Y de esa forma ustedes pues tienen toda la clase. A ver, estimados participantes, dudas y consultas, aún estoy en sala. Ninguna consulta, ninguna duda. ¿Todo está clarito? Sí, entonces, thank you very much. Excelente. Bueno, si todo fue, si todo, that's all, ¿no? Si eso es todo, estimados participantes, that's all for the class, ¿no? For the participating in the class. Genial. Bien, dudas y consultas, nuevamente les envío el enlace para que ustedes, sí, ahí también nuestra docente les manda saludos a ustedes para que puedan responder. Gracias por la clase online, estudiantes. Nos vemos hasta la próxima semana, ¿sí? Les envío un see you next week. Entonces, estimados participantes, ustedes pueden participar en la siguiente semana y en las 2 sesiones que quedan, ¿ya? A ver, genial, muchas bendiciones. Good luck, good luck. See you next week. Que tengan un bonito fin de semana. El certificado tiene un costo simbólico de 30 nuevos soles. Ya. Ok, a good weekend. Excelente. De igual manera para ustedes, muchas bendiciones. Good blessing para todos ustedes y más participantes. Que tengan un bonito fin de semana en familia. Que nuestro Señor siempre los bendiga y cuide siempre. Que nos dé más salud y vitalidad para llegar a las siguientes sesiones finales. Bien, estimados. See you the next week. nos vemos en la próxima sesión. See you later. Ha sido un gusto. Nice to meet you. Poder estar presente con todos ustedes. Ya. Igualmente la sala va a estar habilitada para cualquier duda o consulta de todas maneras. ¿Sí? ¿Sí? Pueden preguntar. Sí, vamos a una práctica, ¿no? A ver, listo. ¿Cómo están? ¿Todo bien? Ya. Bien, sin ayudas y consultas, estimados, hacerles la invitación nuevamente a los cursos del mes de noviembre, ¿sí? Y también a seguirnos en nuestra página Facebook, nuestra plataforma YouTube y nuestro TikTok, donde dejamos algunos recordatorios de los participantes. Eso sería todo, estimados participantes. Muchas gracias. Muchas bendiciones, good blessing y detenemos la grabación. Cuídense mucho, muchas gracias.